So hello, welcome back. So I figured out what was wrong in the last question. It actually was written incorrectly. There's no way to solve it the way they gave it to us. So these two expressions that I crossed out here were not, there must be a typo. So those don't, we're not going to use those. Isn't it nice when you can just cross stuff out? But we are going to use these diagonal angles. They're going to be equal to each other. And so x comes out to be 30. So if we know that x is 30, then this angle here has to be 60. This is going to be 60, and that means the other two angles are going to be 120. Because as I said, the angles that are next to each other always add up to 180. All right, let's go down to the rhombus. So one of the cool things about a rhombus is the diagonals in the middle are going to make right triangles. So all these angles in the middle are right triangles. So you automatically know that angle 4 is going to be 90. And that means all those triangles are right triangles. So if we look at the rest of the angles, they all have to be the same right triangle. They're all going to be congruent. So we already know an angle up here that's 15. So if that angle is 15, the other angle that's 15 is going to be angle 3. So angle 3 is going to be 15. And then what do we add to 15 to get 90? It's going to be what? 75. So angle 1 is going to be 75 degrees, and also angle 2 will be 75 degrees. Cool, huh? They're always going to be 90-degree angles. And so if we apply that down to the next one, angle 2 and angle 3 are the inside angles. So angle 2 has to be 90. Angle 3 has to be 90. Angle 1 is going to be the same as 59 because those are alternate interior angles. You can see angle 1 is up here, 59 is down here. That's alternate interior angles. And then the third angle in this right triangle is angle 4. So angle 4 has to be 31 degrees. See, those have to add up to 90. So rhombuses, they're kind of cool. You can always just draw the right angles in the middle there. And then the last one I want to show you is where we're going to look at the isosceles trapezoid. Trapezoid is very similar to the last example I showed you about the parallelogram. The angles on the bottom have to be congruent to one another because it's isosceles. So angle 1, and it's going to be the same as this angle here. So angle 1 has to be 67. And then these two angles have to add up to 180. So if I subtract that from 180, angle 2 is going to be what? 123 degrees. That would be 123. This would be 67. And this one up here is also 123. The top angles are the same as the bottom angles. Okay, moving on to the kite. One of the nice things about the kite is if you're going to make a kite that's balanced, you know that these two side angles have to be equal. So how do we find them? Well, all the angles in a quadrilateral have to add up to 360. So if I add up the top and the bottom angle here, I have 101 and 48. And if I add that together, I'm going to get what? 149. And so I have 360 minus 149, right? And then we're going to divide our answer by 2, okay? So don't be afraid to use a calculator. 360 minus 149, that gives me 211. And we're going to divide that by 2. And so the angles are 105.5. Sounds like a radio station. So I forgot what I divided. Let's see. 211. So we have 211. Wait for it to come back. 211. And then 211 divided into two angles is 105.5 degrees. Okay, so we learned that these two side angles are going to be congruent in a kite. The other cool thing about a kite is it's just like the rhombus on the inside. So for these two diagonals to be strong, angle 1 there has to be 90. Okay, those are all going to be right triangles, except the difference here is this big triangle is the same as this big triangle, and these two little triangles are going to be congruent to each other. So how do we figure out angle 2? Well, since this is a 90-degree triangle, just like with the rhombus, angle 2 has to be 90 minus 65, which comes out to be 25 degrees. Ta-da! Quadrilaterals. All right, so now you're done with week 2, and you can go and take the quiz on quadrilaterals. Remember, you can always take a quiz again. Just make sure you message me and let me know that you have taken the quiz so I can change the score. And if you do practices, just take a screenshot of it and send it to me in a message, and I'll give you points for doing your practices. As far as IXL, I'm checking people if they're working on IXL lessons. And if you're putting time in IXL, that's also going to give you points. And if you need your IXL password, just send me a message. Have a good day.